Good morning, everyone. My name is Holland, and I'm going to be the hostess for your show today. Firstly, I would like to thank you all for participating in this reading competition. There will be a Kahoot Game Show after the reading of the book, so we encourage you to take notes, not only on the reading, but on the information shared in the slideshow. Also, for all student parent teams that purchased the book and are eligible to compete in the competition, we do trust that you registered online. Once again, this competition is only for those who purchased the book and registered online. Also, before we begin, can all participants type the name of the student parent team and your email into the chat line below so that we have an account of who was here today? I will give about 30 seconds for everyone to do so. Okay, now that I believe everyone has typed their name and student parent team into the chat, I will now start the presentation. We do strongly encourage you to take notes on the information that will be presented now. Once again, good morning, everyone. Ms. Sandra Everest Manley, the author of Raised Up by Mrs. Manley and Her L's, has been friends with the Patriots family for over 2 decades now. But before I bring her on, I would like to tell you a little bit about her. Ms. Sandra Everest Manley grew up in Pittsburgh, California, and currently resides in Washington, D.C. She is a sought-after speaker in the areas of diversity and inclusion, corporate responsibilities, ethics, and images in the media. She has a strong commitment to working with young people and to get them excited about education, especially science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, along with a comparable, enduring, and demonstrative passion for keeping the arts alive in schools across the country. Ms. Sandra Everest Manley has received national recognition by numerous organizations for her commitment to the community, education, and working to increase diversity in front of and behind the scenes in Hollywood, and helping to bring attention to the impact of gang violence. Ms. Everest Manley has been all across the country, telling her story on how she was raised by her mother's favorite words from the letter L, and how they shaped how she lives today, by words from her favorite letter C: character, compassion, conviction, care, commitment, certain, complete, and cherished, to name a few. Good morning, Ms. Sandra Everest Manley. We are so happy to have you here to read to the Patriots family. All of our listeners have a copy of your book, and I've gotten great reviews from them. But first, before we get started, what inspired you to write your book?
Well, thank you so much, Holland, for that wonderful introduction. Thank you to the Patriots family. I so much believe in the great mission of Patriots. And thank you to all the families and to the parents and children. Honored to be with you today to talk a little bit about my book, Raised Up by Miss Manley and Her L's. And I wrote the book in celebration of my mom. My mom was a really special, incredible woman. I often thought of my mom not as my mother, but I always thought she was an angel because she was always giving. She would always tell us we had room for one more in our home. And so I just always thought, wow, I wanted to do something to just celebrate my mom and celebrate her life. The last thing that I would say is I can't tell you, no matter where I go, people are always saying when they see my last name Manley, they're always like, are you Miss Manley's daughter? Oh my God, if it wasn't for your mom, I would have never made it in life. I would have never graduated. And so it is just a celebration of my mom. And lastly, the words, the L's, they're all so important, I believe, to help us all get through life, especially now today.
Yes, what's your question?
Did you really have all those siblings?
Absolutely, I did. And today I have, because of it, I have 95 nieces and nephews.
Dang.
Thank you, Ms. Everest Manley, for sharing your inspiration. Now we can get started. I would like to turn the program over to Ms. Sandra Everest Manley as we read along with her. If you have any questions, please put them into the chat line below and I'll be around to answer.
All right. Well, again, thanks everyone. And I'm honored to be able to read the book. I actually dedicated the book. It says, to my wonderful angels, my mom, Miss Manley, my sister Mildred, who will forever live in my heart, to my sisters, brothers, families, and friends for your continued support. Thank you for the phenomenal love and care. And I just want to say it's obvious with the parents on the phone, with the young people, this is what it's all about, love and support. And so the first thing I'll share is that you'll see images in the books. And this is just kinds of things that we did in our neighborhood when we grew up. You'll see images of jump roping, individuals playing marbles, which I love to do. So you'll just see different things, and that sort of represented what was going on in our community every day when we were outside, especially on Saturdays. So raised up by mismantling her L's. As a child, I, along with 3 brothers, 2 sisters, and 10 foster children, was raised by our mother using some of her favorite words from one letter of the alphabet, and that was the letter L. And these are just some of the images of my brothers and sisters who grew up in our home. And since all of you have the book and you're reading along, just like an at-home Sunday school lesson, Mama, and that's what we called our mom, Mama taught us to love one and love many. Love the Lord, love our family, love our community, love who we are, love what we do. In spite of any situation, we were taught to love anyway and anyhow. And so oftentimes we would get up in the morning, we heard the word love. When we went to bed, we always heard about love. And I would just want to encourage everyone, it's important for you to love who you are. Listen. We could not get by without knowing how to listen. My mother stressed that we had to listen in many different ways, and not just with our ears. We had to listen with our eyes in order to see the seen and unseen. And most of all, we had to listen with our heart in order to feel what was heard and unheard and words spoken by others. I think we can go a lot of places today and we don't have to hear one word spoken, and we can see maybe how individuals are feeling of what's happening or what's not happening in a community or in a school or even in a workplace. As you heard, I came from California, and I can walk down certain streets today. I see a lot of homeless people. I don't even have to hear a word, and I know we need to do more to help others. In her daily lessons, Mama would say we had to learn all you can while you can. Know that learning takes place not just in the classroom, but also in everyday life. She taught us that some of the best learning is what we learn from our elders, our family members, and the paths we travel as we journey through life. And I will just tell you, for those of you who are part of Patriots and you meet all kinds of incredible people, when you talk to your family members, that learning is going on every day of our lives. And I encourage you to cherish that type of learning. Sometimes when she had the idea that these lessons were not getting through, she said, you must learn to listen and listen to learn. So I will encourage you to always listen, because that listening will make sure that you learn and you will go far. And so we did a lot of reading, and that's sort of an image with me and my mom. Somewhere along the way, Miss Manley, as she was affectionately known by many, would add the words lift, lean, and lead. Lift. She told us to lift others up and not tear them down. She went on to say, lift others by doing our part to make this world a better place, even if it's just one corner or one chip of the world. And so I just want to encourage you today, especially for our young people, we need to lift others up. We need to encourage, we need to say just hello sometimes, or we may need to help some of our elders get across the street, or if we got grandparents, but we need to be there to help lift others up. Lean. Coming from a Mississippi-born civil rights family, my mom would say there would be times when we would find it necessary to lean on others, and there would be certainly times when others would have to lean on us. Anybody know times that they could have, anybody want to lean on them? Just by raise your hand. Someone asks you to do something. Could you help me pick up something? Could you bring in the grocery? There you go. I love it. Thanks for raising your hand. And just for those parents who are on the phone with you, my family was a civil rights family. My cousin was Medgar Evers, who lost his life fighting for civil rights for individuals to have the right to vote. And so we were always taught we had to lead and be active. Mama always reminded us of the importance to lead. It's not enough to sit on the sidelines, she would say. You have to help lead and bring about change. She left us with that thought that a good leader also knows when and how to follow. And in the end, she would say, take a stand and have a voice. How many of you are leading today? Let me see some hands. This is a picture of myself when I was in the 5th grade. There you go. I love it. But we've got to be willing to lead and take a stand. I think we can see that played out today now more than ever. Thank you. I appreciate everyone raising their hands. I'm excited. But in the 5th grade, I wanted to run for president of my elementary school. And so that was my opportunity of saying I have to lead. You gotta laugh. Laugh loudly, and by all means, keep smiling. Do not get so serious that you allow yourselves to miss your blessings. Mama would say, have some fun. Don't let anyone or anything steal your joy. Remember, there will be tough times. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Laugh until your heart is content. And so for us, laughing sometimes was around the dinner table. And I would just say laughing is sometimes what we do in our neighborhood. But sometimes it's not just laughing, but it's just doing something that makes your soul and your heart feel really, really good. So I encourage you right now with COVID and everything, and some of us having to stay locked in, not able to go to school, think about things that bring joy in your life. Think about things. Some of you might play videos, Xbox, or some of you may get on a certain game that you love. Think about some of those things that makes you happy. Put it in the chat. I'd love to hear what are some of those things that make you laugh. Live. My mother never let a day go by without saying something about her ails. And after all, it was the backbone of her in-home curriculum. She would say, you must be willing to live. Live life to the fullest, because tomorrow is not promised. Take time to smell the roses. Take care of yourself. She told us to live, let live, and not take life for granted. I just want to say to all of you, just think about how we are all living today. And live life to the fullest. Do those things that help get you through life, and partner with your family and do special things. And one of the things I loved when I was growing up is jump roping. So do things that make you live life to the fullest. Love. At the end of the day, my mother often reminded me and my siblings to continually to reflect on the greatest of the L's, and that's love. How many of you feel about love? How many show of hands? A great feeling about love, having someone love you clearly with the parents and the teams on. This is about love. When dropping me off at my aunt's house, my aunt kept me while my mom worked. And during her many days when I was at the hospital, when I was as a young child, I'd spent a lot of days in and out of the hospital because of a heart problem. But my mom was always there. And so even during my days when she picked me up and putting me to bed, sending me off even to college, and whenever we talked on the phone, she would always say, I love you more than you ever know. And I will tell you today, I say that to my family, I love you more than you ever know. Or sometimes I'll just say, when they say I love you, I say I love you more. When I became an adult, My mother said I had to find my letter to live and raise my family by. I found that letter, and I think you all know what that letter is. Thank you, Mom, my angel, my blessing. I love you. I love you more than you'll ever know. Reflections of the L. My mother did all she could to raise me well and live my life by the letter L. So instead of worrying if I failed, everything I did, I tried to do well. Live with purpose, laugh with passion, look with focus, love everlasting. Learn with an open mind, leap with a chance to shine. Listen with my heart, link those who are apart. Lead those in need of guidance, lift those in need of kindness. Last longer when I'm in prayer, I'm thankful my mother cared. I make mistakes and sometimes I fall. When I do, I lean on him who loves us all. Live your life laughing with those you love. Lift your prayers to your Lord above. Everything's worth doing is worth doing well. And if you do your best, you'll never fail. I'm going to read that line one more time. Everything worth is doing well. And if you do your best, you'll never fail. And so sometimes I go and I speak to students, and these are just kind of an image of me in a classroom. And so here are the words. I'm just going to ask each of you to say them with me. Can you say love?
Love.
Can I hear you say listen?
Listen.
How about learn? How about joining us, and I am going to turn it over to Holly.
I see her in the picture.
Thank you, Ms. Sandra Everest Manley, for that beautiful reading. Now, we are going to do a practice Kahoot game. Once again, this is a practice Kahoot, not the official one yet. I will broadcast the code on the screen, and I will give about 5 minutes for everyone to join. I will share the screen now. Once again, this is the practice Kahoot before the official Kahoot. The code is 815-8205. I will give about 5 minutes for everyone to join. The first question for the practice Kahoot is, where was Miss Sandra Everest Manley born? The answer choices are Hollywood, Pittsburgh, California, Atlanta, Georgia, and Los Angeles, California. The correct answer was Pittsburgh, California. The second question is, where does Miss Sandra Everest Manley now reside? The answer choices are Washington, D.C., Upper Marlboro, Maryland, Albany, New York, and Alexandria, Virginia. The correct answer was Washington, D.C. And finally, the last question for the practice Kahoot is, Miss Sandra Everest Manley has a strong commitment to working with Girl Scouts, senior citizens, young people, or the homeless. The correct answer was young people. In third place for the practice Kahoot, we have Jayla and Nikki. In second place, we have Nevaeh Maiden. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. And then in first place, we have Jocelyn Maya. That was the end of the practice Kahoot. But before we get into the official Kahoot, I would like to bring back Miss Sandra Everest Manley, and I would like to ask you, could you please tell us some information about the Black Hollywood Education Resource Center Youth 11th Annual Diversity Film Festival that you are hosting? Perhaps some of our members would like to participate.
Thank you so much, Holland. I think you should be on television. You're outstanding. Thank you so much. And thanks again. I love to practice Kahoot. You guys are awesome, great listeners. So I have a nonprofit, like Patriots is a nonprofit. It's called Black Hollywood Education and Resource Center. And actually today at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, we're kicking off our Youth Diversity Film Festival. And we've got 60 films from middle school and high school students from 13 different countries and the United States. We have students from Brazil, Pakistan, the United Kingdom. We have students from different parts of the US. And these are short films, all films under an hour. And we'll be kicking that off again today at BHERCTB. We got films on animation. We have films, just all kinds of stories that student filmmakers are making, and we're real excited. This is our 11th annual Student Youth Diversity Film Festival. We do it each year during the MLK weekend. Normally we do it in person, but because of COVID, it's all online. And you can see the films from 10 a.m. in the morning throughout the evening. And they're wonderful short films, all by middle school and high school students. Also, if students have an interest in wanting to learn how to be an animator, we have panels and workshops. We have panels on music. We have panels on animation. And you can go to BHERCTV and tune in to learn and hear. You'll get to hear from our filmmakers. Our opening celebration is at, again, 1 p.m. today, Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can go and log on and see the films. All the panels are wonderful and they're free. And we've been doing this now for 11 years. And we hope you'll join and see some of the panels and get to meet some of our filmmakers.
Thank you for sharing that information. Now we will get ready for the official Kahoot game. The student that correctly answers the most questions will be determined as the winner. But before we begin, I want to announce how the prizes will be given. In first place, $700 will go to the organization and school, and $300 will go to the student parent team. In second place, $400 will go to the organization and school, and $100 will go to the student parent team. Finally, for third place, $200 will go to the organization and school, and $50 will go to the student parent teams. We will now let the competitions begin. Once again, I'm going to broadcast the code for everyone to join. The game pin is 7568319. Once again, I will give about 3 to 5 minutes for everyone to join. Okay, since I see nobody in the chat saying they haven't joined, I'm now going to start the official Kahoot game. The first question is going to be, how many years did Doris Ever Manley work at Pittsburgh Senior High School? The answer choices are 15, 20, 30, and 10. The correct answer was 30 years. The next question is, how many children did Miss Doris Ever Manley raise? The answer choices are 6, 8, 10, and 15. The correct answer was 15. Mr. Mans will now ask the next question.
How many L letters were listed in the book?
The correct answer was 8. Mrs. Manley will now ask the next question.
What word did Mrs. Manley begin to end with each day? What word did Mrs. Manley begin and end with each day?
The correct answer was love. And Ms. Manley will now ask the last question.
Mrs. Manley asked each of her children to find their own letter. What letter did Sandra Evers Manley choose?
The correct answer was C. Before we share the winners, I would like to ask Ms. Manley to share us a little bit about her life.
Well, thank you so much, Holland. As you heard, and first of all, let me just say you're all winners on this call, and thank you to all the families and schools and incredible students. You're all winners. So just lifting you up. Again, I grew up in a small southern city in California. Many of the families came from Mississippi. They left because they wanted to make a better life for their children. And many of our family members also were shipped off to war during that time. And so a lot of families left Mississippi and came. I grew up in Pittsburgh, California. It's Pittsburgh without an H. Our Pittsburgh does not have an H. It's a steel town. So my mom, you heard she worked 30 years at the high school. She went to school just about with all of her children. So she was our school clerk. And so many of us who went to Pittsburgh High, we went every day with our mom. So not only did she raise us every day at home, but she also was there at school. So if we got in trouble, she knew right away. After I graduated from high school, I moved to Los Angeles, where I went to the University of Southern California and went to college there. During my junior year of college, I joined a company called Northrop. It's now called Northrop Grumman. And at that company now, I've been there ever since my junior year. It's 39 years this year that I've been at that company. And that's how I got introduced to Patriots. We are a technology company. We need talent. We need young people who are focused on science, technology, engineering, and math. And so I serve as president for the Northrop Grumman Foundation, in which we do great work with organizations like Patriots. And I also serve as vice president of corporate responsibility. I have a great love for young people, and I have a great love for STEM. And also, I would be remiss if I didn't say I had a great love for literacy. My sister was an English teacher, and she said, you can't do math and science if you can't read. And I love people. I love being involved, and I want young people to be able to see themselves on TV and in film. And so I used to complain, and my mother would never allow us to complain. She would always say, what are you going to do about it? And so 27 years ago, I started the nonprofit Black Hollywood Education and Resource Center. We provide scholarships to students in college to help them complete their student projects. We provide grants to filmmakers who bring
It's not being nice.
And be nice, that's right. We have to be nice. And so that's a little bit about me. I currently live in Washington, D.C. I've been here now 11 years. I work in Northern Virginia in a town called Falls Church, Virginia. And I'm just excited to be with you. Several of you in the chat asked me, do I have other books?
Be nice to me.
But be nice is important. So I'm currently working on my second book, and it's called Imani, the Super Little Engineer. And it's a story about a little girl who imagines that she's going to be, or that she is, an engineer. So I'm excited. I want to thank you all. Thank you, parents, teachers, and schools. Thank you, young people. Just know, be all that you can. Love yourself, love your family, and be willing to listen. And I tell you, you'll go far. So find your letter as well, but always focus on the L's. You guys are just incredible. And everybody on this call, you're already winners. And I'm honored to be here. Thank you to Mr. Thurman Jones. Thank you, Holland. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Kirk Charles Mans, for this great time. I'm honored to be with you today.
Thank you for that amazing speech. I typed the winners to you, but before you announce them, can you explain why you chose the letter C as your favorite letter?
Absolutely. So again, I like to tell people I was raised by the letter L, and I love people. And as I thought about what
Good job.
better, oh, thank you so much. And I thought about
L too.
You got an L too? Okay, I'll have to find out what your L is. And what I thought is that in addition to being able to love and listen and learn, that we also have to cherish. We have to cherish each day. We got to care. We got to care about others, care about our families, care about what we do. But we've also got to have compassion. When we see something wrong, we've got to have compassion. But the other thing is we've got to have character. It's so important today that we have character. And when we say we're going to do something, we're going to do it. And so that's why I picked my letter. The letter C is that each day for me,
Very good job.
and I want to cherish each day. Sometimes that day is hard. Sometimes that day may be hurtful, but I know a better day is coming. So it's important to cherish who we are, and what I like to say, whose we are. So that's why I picked my letter C, is that I also want us to have compassion for each other, get to learn people, the differences, and what we all bring to the table. So thank you so much, Holland, and all of our attendees.
Thank you. And if you can, in the chat, I sent to you the third, second, and first place, and we would like you to announce the winners. If you can.
Okay. I am going to start with third place, then I'll go to second, and then I'll go to first. And I want to say thank you for being great listeners. And I'm going to ask you to forgive me if I don't pronounce the name correctly. All right, so in third place, it's Abajia. Can I see you? Let's give a round of applause. Let's raise up. That's our third place winner. Our second place is Elisa. Where are you, Lisa? Come on, everybody. Come on, we're in this together. And then a drum roll for our first place winner. Hold on, my screen is it Lula? Lulila? Woo, woo, woo.
Yay! Thank you.
All right, there you are on screen. You look beautiful. And there are the scores, everyone. Take a look. Very close. It was a close competition. Oh my gosh.
All right.
Thank you, parents. Thank you, students. Awesome, awesome job. And thank you, Patriots. And thank you, Holland. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We would like to thank the organization and student team parents for the participation. We would also like to thank the Patriots Technology Training Center for hosting the reading competition. And most of all, we want to thank Ms. Sandra Evers Manley, and we would like to give you a big hand for sharing the wonderful way that she was raised in the letter low. As everyone give her a big hand.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Once again, thank you. And for the winners,
Bravo, everyone.
the winners also, can you again type your name and then your email in the chat below. And then everyone, we would like you to have a good rest of your day. And congratulations again to the winners.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Bye, everyone.
Peace.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Can the winners please stay on the line?
Thank you, Mrs. Sandra Evers Manley. Your story inspired me because my mom has 14 siblings and she knows how to grow up with so many siblings in her family.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you to your mom and 14. Absolutely. Then she know firsthand what it's like. And thanks for sharing that.
Thank you again for you encouraging them. I'm so grateful. Thank you for encouraging, teach them the children. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for everything. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Back to you, Holland, to ask our winners some questions.
It's Lulia Berhana, but whatever you could say, it doesn't really matter.
It's okay. Thank you.
It's okay.
So how were you able to get all 5 questions correct?
I have a paper full of notes and I have a notebook full of notes I wrote down. And also it was, I could understand it because my mom had 14 siblings when she was growing up and she knows how it feels. So it kind of inspired me and I really wanted to get first for my school so my school could be proud for me too.
Well, congratulations. I'm proud for you as well. That's amazing.
Thank you. I'm in 7th grade and my school is St. Augustine Catholic School.
And then for 2nd place was Alyssa as well. And what school, what grade, and then how did you manage to get all 5 questions correct as well?
I am in 1st grade and I'm in Oakland Elementary School. And how I got all the questions correct because we read the book every single day.
Oh, wow. So you were really prepared. That's great. Well, congratulations on getting 2nd place.
Thank you.
Your school is going to be so proud. And then for 3rd place, but how did you manage to get 3rd place as well? And then what's your grade? And then what school did you go to or do you go to?
My name is Abigail, and I'm in the 5th grade. And the school I go to is St. Augustine Catholic School.
So how did you manage to get all 5 questions correct?
I managed to get them correct because I wrote down lots of notes and I read the book every day.
Wow. So everyone was just prepared. That's amazing. Good job, everyone.
Awesome job, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone did a great job.
Gracias.
All right.